This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today it's all about the oinkers. We're talking about the piggy wiggies out in the mud hanging out, maybe even being in the sky and floating around being all happy. We're talking about Happy Pigs from Iello. This is a sort of a Euro strategy economic game, 2 to 6 players. It says 40 minutes. It's probably a little longer than that, maybe up to an hour. Ages 10 and up. Let me show you how this economic game is played, and I'll see you on the other side. Happy Pigs is played over 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter in that order. There's 8 cards of each season, but randomly 2 cards are going to be thrown away of each season, each game, so each game feels a little different, and then we do them in that order: spring, summer, autumn, fall. This is essentially the event deck and the turn counter for the game. There's going to be a total of 16 cards, 4 for each season, so a total of 16 turns in the game. Now in this game, you're going to be raising pigs, buying pigs, selling pigs, feeding pigs. There's different size pigs. You have piglets, small, medium, and large, and they're worth $3, $6, $10, and $15 over the course, and you can buy them or sell them at this price. You can add different items, some vaccines to save them, some things that help you when you're mating pigs to make them bigger right off the bat, or some feeding supplies, some dietary supplements to make them bigger. You can add fields to your section of your farm. So essentially that's what we're going to be doing, and these are the different types of pigs that are in the game. Everyone is going to start with 1 field, 45 bucks. I'll start with the start token, and everyone gets 4 actions of the same color. So there's only 4 choices that you're going to have each round. At the beginning of the game, you get to do 5. You get to buy any 5 items and pay for them to start the game. At the beginning of my game, I bought 5 items. I bought 2 medium-sized pigs, I bought an Amulet of Life and 2 vaccines. Those are my 5 things. I spent the money, and everyone would do the same when we start the game. They buy whatever they want. Let me show you how a round works. How a round works is everyone's going to secretly, but simultaneously, select an action. We're going to reveal that, but before that happens, we see what the event is for the season. So the first thing that happens is we take over this spring season and we put it over and we look at it. First of all, this tells us what's going to happen sometimes at the end of the round, sometimes during it. Field sale. The price of fields is reduced by $3 for this round. So if you want to add another field to so you could hold more pigs, you could buy it for $3 less. Now this also tells you about the 4 different types of actions in this game. And there's really 4 choices on your turn. You're only going to be able to do one of these on your turn. You can feed, you can mate pigs, you can sell, or you can buy. That's it. And this is telling you how many available actions are available for each of these during this round. So what you're going to do is you're going to decide what you want to do this round. You can only select one of your actions. And essentially what you're going to do is everyone is going to put their token there as to what they're trying to do. So this one might do this, and this one might do this, and this guy might do this. And then we flip them all up over. So this might be what it looks like after we flip them all over. And I'm orange, just remember I'm the start player. So what we have here is we start with the start player here. I'm doing mating, and there's 9 mating actions and nobody else did it. So I get to do all 9 mating actions. Now, after you know the game well, you can do all these simultaneously along with everybody else. These 2 did feed actions, and there's 8 feed actions. And so each of these guys are going to get 4 of them. They got split in half. If they were uneven amount going clockwise from me, let's say it was me, I was first player, second player, third player, fourth player. If there were 9 of those, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that player would get 1 more action than them. And this guy is selling. So he's going to get all 10 sell actions by himself. So you're trying to guess what other people are not going to do and take that action when it's advantageous for you to do so. Now let's talk about all these 4 different actions and what they do. Now mating. I took the mating action, and what this allows me to do is any pig that is large or the second largest, the medium, that's these guys, they can mate. You don't need 2 of them. Just as long as you have 1 that's big enough, you do it. So I had 9 actions here to do for the mating. I only have 2 pigs that can mate. Now remember, I could even do it just 1. If I had 1 here, I could just mate and create 1 little piglet. So that's the small one there. But I actually had 2 of them, so now I can mate a second one. And now this is the Amulet of Life. I can turn this in when I mate, and instead of getting a small piglet, he actually gets to be the second size, which is small. So it's piglet, small, medium, and there's large. So this would get turned in, and I did 2 mating actions, 1, 2. Now if you remember, I have 9, I have 7 left over. Instead of doing any more actions, which I can't do because each pig can only mate once, I will take 7 coins from the bank because I have 7 actions left over. So it's a way of not using all your actions, but still getting some money. That is basically mating, and my turn would be over this round. Let's look at some of the other actions. I'll show you feeding. Now, I wouldn't be doing it on my board right now, but I'm just gonna show you this because it's set up. Feeding, so you can feed, let's just say I had 4 because it got split. I have 4 feed actions. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I could feed all 4 of these guys. So each of these guys would turn into the next size bigger. So this one turns into this one, so he goes back in the pile, and a big one comes out. This one goes back in the pile, and this one goes out. This guy goes back in the pile, and I get this guy, and this guy goes back in the pile, and I get this guy. Now, if I wanted to, I have a dietary supplement. For each one of these that I've used, instead of it just going up 1 size, he goes up 2 size. Now, each pig can only get fed once per turn, but if you give this the dietary supplement, he essentially can move up 2 of them. So that's that. That's feeding. That's how you get things bigger. Selling, I can sell my pigs for the certain market. So if I had these 3 big pigs and that little piglet, I can sell 3 of the big ones, 15 each, that's 45, and 1 piglet's 3, so I'd have 48 bucks. I could get rid of all my pigs and just take 48 bucks right now if I wanted to. By the way, those other things that I was using, they're all just $1 when you're buying those. And the last action is the buy action. And that's simple. You can just buy any of these things for whatever price you want for as many actions as you want. And remember, no matter what action you do, however many less you use, you can take 1 coin. And that would be the end of the turn. And then we'd go on to a next round. So the next round would come up. We're still in spring. Different amount of actions, same type of action. Seasons of Love. Each player gets 1 piglet for each pair of pigs in his fields old enough to mate. So either an average or a big pig, if you have a pair of those, they automatically have 1 piglet. And you do the same thing, and then a 3rd round would come, and then a 4th round would come. At the end of the 4th round, we see it's going to be a new season. What happens is you have a chance to now vaccinate all your pigs, and even that are not vaccinated die at the end of each season. So in this case, I only have 2 vaccinations. So essentially I would vaccinate these 2, put these back in the pile, and I would flip these. And when I do this, they very cutely have a band-aid and a vaccination symbol. These guys are vaccinated for the rest of the game. I never have to vaccinate them again. They are safe for every season for the rest of the game as long as I don't sell them. These 2, unfortunately, they got sick and they died. Now, I probably should have tried to sell this guy before the season ended, but whatever. So both of these guys are just gone because I have now lost them. Now, that happens at the end of every season. Now, when it becomes the last season, winter, when the last card comes out, you'll do the same thing. Hey, a bacon festival. The price of piglets, small, average, and big pigs becomes more. Essentially, they're a dollar more. It's really good to sell now. Now, at the end of this season, again, you get to vaccinate any pigs. But then at the end of the game, which is the end of this winter season, you get to automatically sell all your vaccinated pigs. And that's good because otherwise everyone would just take the sell action probably on the last turn of the game. So you get to sell them for any vaccinated at the end of the game. Whoever has the most money is the winner at the end. And if there was a tie, everyone could sell any items they have or any fields they have, and whoever has the most money then is the winner. Now there's a 2-player variant designed by Bruno Cathala here. And what happens is with a 2-player variant, 1 player will get 4 tiles from a neutral player. So I am orange, the opponent's green, and I pick this action, and I think he is going to mate. So I get to pick from the neutral color blue what I think he's going to do. We flip this over. I fed. He chose mate. I thought he was going to choose mate, so I chose it, and I basically screwed him over because now his actions get split in half. Now, if I do successfully guess, then at the end of this turn, he gets these neutral things and gets to play them against me. If I did not guess correctly, like maybe I guessed sell, then nothing happens, his actions don't get split, and I get these back for next turn to try to guess correctly again. And it's a way to kind of mess with your opponent and make a 2-player game work really well. Well, first of all, in normal Iello fashion, the artwork is so adorable in this game. I don't know where they get these artists, but their games are always the absolute cutest. Components are awesome, high quality components here, like usual with Iello. Now, looking at the cover and looking at the game, you might be looking at this and going, hey, I can play this with my kids. Maybe. The game is simple, really, mechanically. I mean, you only have 4 things you can choose on. You're going to feed, buy, sell, or mate, and that's it. And you're doing that 16 times over the course of the game, and the game looks so simple. You're like, yeah, you probably could play this with kids. It says 10 and plus. It's probably good for that. But the game has this depth there that's maybe a little misleading by the box cover, because you make it seem like it's going to be a kid's easy game, and it's not. It is easy, but man, there's so much to think about. What do I do? Am I going to grow these pigs and then sell them, or am I going to grow them and then mate them to bring more ones to bring them up and then sell them? Do I need to get a new field now, or am I better off selling them all off? Well, hey, I already vaccinated these guys. I've already spent the money to do that. I might as well keep these ones. These ones aren't vaccinated. They're going to die. I better sell those. And then you're trying to decide, what should I do from round to round? What is this guy going to do? What is this guy going to do? I really need to sell 5 guys. If we both pick sell, I'm only going to get to sell 4. Then what am I going to do? And it's just like this cool thing. I like the aspect of guessing what everyone's going to do and trying to figure that out. The last round of the last game I played here, I had like 6 or 7 pigs before the last round, like 2 rounds before. 6 or 7 pigs that I wanted to sell because the event that round allowed me to sell it for more money. And somebody else picked it too, and I was like, oh man, and it just totally screwed my plans up, and you can do that in this game. So overall, if you're looking for a very simple to teach economic game that has layers of depth, this is going to be one to check out. It does have that simultaneous action selection where you can kind of screw people over, so just be wary of that. If you don't like that, just be cautious that it is there. It is kind of fun to mess with people. Sometimes you'll do it by accident. Sometimes everybody will pick the same action, and then you're just getting split up that way. Overall, a good economic game. If you're looking for something like that, this is definitely one to check out, and that's Happy Pigs. And also remember that there's that 2-player variant from Bruno Cathala, the 2-player designer master, that really makes this game work fine. Excellent with 2 players there. I showed you that in the overview. So yeah, it works well with 2. And with 6, if you play it simultaneously, it shouldn't take much longer than with other players. So it can accommodate a lot of players too. Good game here, Happy Pigs.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.